Welcome back to Pembertons Farm, Ballam Road Dairy Farming for episode 4 with me, MrSealyp. I'm on field 18. I decided I would do the silage harvest before I tackled my small field problem. That's going to be a problem. I've got to decide on a harvester to buy or lease. I might lease a couple to try them out because I have a very specific need in that it's got to be small enough that I can get down the little lanes but also turn into the gateways. Not too wide. Yeah, it's going to be very specific. So we'll have a look. Anyway, yeah. Contract is now complete. I delivered 28 bales, 2 full loads of 14 of these, over to Homestead Farm. Which leaves me with 30. I had 58 bales off this field. So I've got a full load. Now these have got to go, I say these haven't got to go, but these are going to go to the biogas plant because the biogas plant is paying more at the moment. Now, the only reason I was going to show this bit, rather than show a little clip of me completing the contract or whatever it was, is because the access in and out. And again, I'm sure people would absolutely hate it, but you have to be very precise in the direction of travel, in using every bit of space available for getting in and out, especially with longer vehicles, especially with longer trailers. But I'm into the biogas plant yet either, so I thought, let's whiz out to the biogas plant together and have a look. Now I should be able to, if I go wide enough, I think, turn here. Again, it's a long, well not long, but it's a big tractor. There should be just enough room. I mean, just squeaked the tyre along the fence, let's just say that. Probably just would have taken the fence out completely in real life, but anyway. So yeah, we'll sort the harvesting out. I can't remember what time I said in the last episode, the rain was due to come. But the rain will be coming at some point soon, and then I think what we might do, we're going to check the soil sampling situation before we finish off. We move into October, which we probably will be doing next. Is we might help them do a bit of mucking out, moving some manure into the midden on the Pembertons farm. There's a few areas where it's piling up. The next episode we need to look at the milk situation over there as well, because the dairy's not running yet, and we need to work out how to use it. We need to be given some instruction, which we're going to do now. I'm hoping these aren't going to require lifting in. If we're lucky, these should just unload in front. They normally do, don't they? So these are for me. I'll get money for these. But the question is, this will leave me with, if my maths is correct, I should have another 16 bales left if I've got 30. Do I sell those as well, or do I keep them? I guess the gauge is going to be see what we get for this full load. Because if it's well worth it, I might just be better off selling them. There are other baling contracts available that I could do off camera if I wanted to. There's a potato harvest contract. There we go. No, I've just realised what's happening. I'm not being paid. Because the biogas plant is owned. The joys of multiple farms, I guess. Do they have to pay? I don't understand how this is going to work then. Because if I go up to pricing, which is here. Silage, I should have just gone to Homestead Farm. Silage, 298 at biogas plant, 288 at Homestead Farm. Now, I don't own this farm, so I'm delivering here. Therefore, I should still get paid. I guess it's whether or not they'll pay me. Lesson learned, I guess. So I probably won't even be able to access it to have a look, will I? Whereabouts is the thing going to be? Doors there. No. Okay. So on top of all the usual rules, all the usual rules and little idiosyncrasies of maps and the game and new version and, you know, say new version, it's been over a year now, isn't it? But you know what I mean? Then you add in the multiplayer idiosyncrasies, and then joy of joys. I'm going to have to speak to them at the farm then. That wasn't a donation, I wasn't giving them to them. I guess what I'm going to do now then is if I take the next full load of 14 to Homestead Farm and deliver there, although I should have got more money over there, that will give me a gauge price for what the bales are worth, and then maybe they can move me some money into my account, please. There is an update in the works, FS Landscaping message on the Discord server. If you're not part of the Discord group, feel free to join us. The link in the description should still work, I think, to the Discord server. Friendly bunch of people in there. We don't take kindly to any nastiness and that kind of thing. They're always happy to help with any problems, suggestions, ideas. There's loads of different forum topics and stuff on there you can talk about. But yeah, he posted in there the other day, and some of the gate collisions have been fixed. There's a whole load of the list of stuff has been fixed. It does say it shouldn't need a new save game, so fingers crossed on that. Right, I'll see you over there. We'll gauge the price of this. But like I said in the last episode, did I say in the last episode? Did I cut it out? I can't remember now. I did my usual. I tried to cut it down yesterday and got to about 40 minutes, which was a bit better than usual. But I did the same thing. So I'm talking and recording and mentally trying to keep a note of how long I've done each sort of bit for. And I thought, yeah, I've got to be around 35, 40 minutes. And I had about another 60 minutes worth of recording. Because you know what I'm like, I'm doing it again now. I just like to talk when I'm doing stuff. And I did say that, you know, it's a dairy farm. There's going to be a lot of baling work. There's a lot of grass fields. That's kind of part and parcel of it. But I'm trying to intersperse that with other bits of farming too. Back down to the store. I seem to spend a lot of my time down here. 24 grand, just over, so 24,600, something like that I just made from those bales. I've been on the phone, as you do, when you're mildly annoyed about something. And it turns out, whilst Pembertons do own the land, it's leased by another company, a company called Hydro Cleansing UK. They own the biogas plant and a lot of biogas plants, anaerobic digesters across the UK. So what I've got to do is get in touch with them, and they should be able to pay me, apparently. It's an invoice thing. I don't know. I've got some equipment here. This is for the potato harvest. I thought, you know what, I would take it on. So I've taken it on. I'm not sure when I'll get to that. That may be tomorrow now. But anyway, we're still in that kind of time, still thinking ahead, time crunch contractors for getting the silage harvesting work done and hay work done on the Pembertons farmland, which is going to require mowing and tedding and all the other stuff. and getting in touch with contractors. But here's the weird thing, and it was something I thought I was thinking about the situation with seasonal work, with seasons being on, is that strange thing that I know I keep harping back to the Realismus modding version. A few people messaged when I said about that and said, "Oh, you know, the Giants version is a version of seasons in the fact you've got a seasonal growth calendar." There's not a lot else. I know it sounds awful. There's not a lot else really. Obviously, the seasons do change, and you know you get snow and all that kind of stuff. I have found a lot of maps I've been on. The snow doesn't tend to stay around for very long. It depends what one you're on. But if you go down, the orange is your harvest season, and your green is your planting season. So if we go down and we look at our grass, the grass, whilst you can only plant it up till the end of November, you can cut grass right the way through. I know on the Realismus version, I think when it got to December, it might have even been November, I'm sure it was December, the grass all kind of died back, so there was nothing. You couldn't cut it, there was nothing to cut. Then it would need to kind of grow back again into the spring. So whilst there is a time crunch in so much as we might get snow on the ground or something like that, and obviously you don't want to be cutting the grass then, and you want to get it all done so you've got your winter stuff, I would have thought it would have made more sense for it to be the same thing. You could maybe plant grass and even harvest it up until December. Then December through, you can't but in this situation, we can. It says harvest seasons orange of oilseed radish, poplar and grass. Poplar I get, it's more of a tree type. You can do that anytime. So I suppose technically, you know, in reality, whilst the grass isn't particularly growing very well, if you have got grass and it hasn't snowed in the winter, you can go out and cut it. It might be a bit frozen, like little green chips sticking up out of the ground. But anyway, so next problem we need to tackle, and it's this with the harvester situation. Now, obviously, I need to complete that contract, right? Where are we? Complete another 18 grand. Collect on that. This one doesn't pay a huge amount of money, but it's not a very big field for potatoes. We might get some left over, and again, if we do, we'll sell it. Not a problem at all. But the situation I've got now then is that's my field. It's fenced in. It's tiny. I'm at a situation where I could possibly, just thinking, how much have I got? In all honesty, those bales I just sold over and above, and I should have about another 24, 25 grand coming to me from the biogas plant company. I'm going to buy it. It's got 2 small fields to harvest. Yeah, but they're small fields, small gateways. So what we're going to do is, our harvester situation is this. There's some more been added to the brochure, as you'll notice. Now, the TX32, there's a local, one of the local farmers. I'm watching one of Tom's videos. They go and get their straw bales in the summer when the harvesting's been done, or autumn time. And one of the local farmers was doing an oat harvest, and they were going to collect their straw bales. And he had a TX64, I think it was. So it's possible that one of the contractors might have one of those. So my options are, there's the old FAHR M66 barn find. 32 grand, not too expensive. It's only got a 1,500 litre tank, but it's narrow. So getting through gateways and stuff might be a little bit easier. I'm thinking that might not be a bad one to start off with. There's no cab on it, so in inclement weather might not be as great. The other option, South American option, I think we might go for. 20 grand, 4,500 litre, massive Ferguson 3640. A little bit more expensive if I put the cab on. 28 grand. Not horrendously expensive, but I'm just worried, is that too wide to get through a gateway? Because even if I open the harvester, which might move the ladder, no, that's where the ladder stays, isn't it? That's fixed, I think. The pipe is on the side as well. Will that go through the gateway? The other option is the John Deere out here, the 1175. The problem I've got with those is the price. They're just, compared to the other ones, I'm sure when I looked in the brochure, they were really, really cheap. And I thought, oh, brilliant, that's like a fantastic option. But it is nice and narrow, but it's just a little bit out of my price range at the moment. Horsepower's right up there as well. So I'm thinking, do I lease one of each of those? I think just for the tank capacity, I'm thinking I might go for the Massey. But I think, whilst it may not be cost effective initially, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to lease it and see. And if it fits through the gateway, no problem. If I can get it in there, no problem. And the only other downside of this one, it doesn't have a rear trailer hitch, so I'd have to bring out the header with something else, which again can be a problem. Whereas that one, I'm sure that's only got a very narrow header. And these are all dilemmas you have to consider when you're a farmer. It's all well and good saying I want to get big equipment, I want to have all fancy pants new stuff, but if it's not right for your farm, I know that Pembertons have been finding the same thing with their tractors. It's all well and good saying we want to go bigger, but they've got a very tight yard, so getting stuff in and around the yard is a tricky situation. So the harvester header for the Massey there is a 5 metre. Yeah, see the FAHR is a 3.2. So I could probably run that up the road with the header on it and get into the gateways too without having to worry about a header trailer. See, now I don't know whether I'm going to plump for the FAHR, you know. They're small fields, so even having a small tank's not the end of the world. I don't even own a trailer, that's a point. I'm going to have to unload it, aren't I? Oh, I don't know. Will that one be better by far? Maybe. You know what? I'm going to lease that. And I'm going to lease... I don't see any reason why I couldn't have that with the smaller header maybe, but let's get that. Let's go with the higher horsepower, whopping 65 horsepower. We haven't got particularly hilly terrain here. The only downside is going to be if the weather's bad, but if the weather's bad, we can't harvest. So I guess you look at it like that and think, doesn't really matter. How much is that to lease? 1,700. That's all right. So, look at it. But there are bisons and things like that available. I'm thinking I'll be able to get through the gateways. I might not, you know. Just looking at the width of that now and looking at average. I don't know. It's hard to tell, isn't it? We got a beacon? We have got a beacon. I quite like this. It's a nippy little thing, isn't it? Look at that. That's nice and narrow. We should be all right, shouldn't we? I'm trying to convince myself here. We should also have the option. I think because the gates go all. I think they alternate, don't they? Yeah, they did alternate, didn't they? So the field I've just bought, we might be all right to get in from this side. I say this side, we don't go all the way around. Then we'll go and do the other one. But I'm also considering whether or not to keep one of them to put another crop in, put something back into it. Although there's not much I'm going to be able to plant now. And the other one, my own little farmer, my own farmstead, my own little plot. If I bought all of those along that line, and I don't think I can remove the fences, but which is a pity. That would be quite cool if I could remove the fences. How are we looking? Go that way. Oh, I'm saying that this does not turn as tight as I thought it would. And then we're straight in here, aren't we? I guess what's going to be very telling is if we can't get across this bridge, then we're in trouble. I'm not so sure, you know. No, it's too narrow. I'm not going to get through here, am I? Not a chance. Oh, I mean, we're talking... Oh, I don't know. Why did that... I must have just got caught. Hang on. This is so tight. I've got to be so careful. If I stray even slightly... Come on, please don't let it narrow the other side. We'll be alright. Come on. Have that side a little more. Just get a bit of speed up. Okay. Well, that's better than I thought. Gateway's next, I don't know. There's rocks up here as well. It's like a salt course. See what I mean though? There's no way I would have got a bigger harvester down there. And also, I mean, if I had a separate header, I'd have it on a header trainer, I guess, but unless I'd have to work out another route into here. That's a pity you can't remove fences, because you just take a couple of fence panels out, probably alright, or even... It's the nature of the beast, it is what it is. You know, most of the UK, there's big areas like Lincolnshire and Cambridgeshire and places like that, where it's much more open, flatter ground, that kind of stuff. A lot of the UK is like this. It's tight lanes, and I've said this before when I've done UK maps. It's not just a case of saying, oh yeah, you know, I'll just remove this, take this out, we'll do this with that. You can't. There's a lot of bylaws, there's a lot of ancient laws, there's a lot of protected buildings, and you know, you just can't demolish everything. I say much as it'd be nice to. It's not nice to demolish anything, but you know what I mean. Okay, well, I honestly think that Massey Ferguson was probably, I don't know, the actual vehicle itself might have been alright. It's the header situation, isn't it? Right, so this is our new field. Yeah, the gates are the wrong way, aren't they? If it had been me, I'd rehang the gate. I'd hang it so it opens that way to there. Then you've got access in and into the field. I think the other one was the same, wasn't it? Oh, again, same thing. Right? What can I do? I can't rehang it. It all adds to the fun. Yes, we're in. We're in. Right, do I need to open this up? That's what I'm trying to do. There we go. Big enough. It's all good fun until someone breaks a header. We're not going to get a lot of yield off this. This is our first time on these fields. The potential's not great. Remember as well, we've got precision farming on, so we've also got the all the eco score thing. The use of ploughs and cultivators and things is frowned upon. I'm not sure I'm too bothered about that. I know you take a bit of a hit on the pricing, don't you? I'm trying to remember what the rules were, but in all honesty, if it says it needs ploughing, I might just have to plough it. Once it's been done the first time, maybe, I don't know. So this is going to have to be emptied far or more often, but I kind of like it. For these small fields, it could only ever be something small like this. So we're going to hit that 1,500 quite quickly, aren't we? Loving life. Right, the thing I'm going to need to do is get a trailer. Oh, dearie me. It hasn't got anything big. Actually, I don't know if have we got anything available in the used vehicular market. Oh look, I could have bought that. There's a Lexion there. Could have got bank loan. It's only 285 grand. I wouldn't have got it in anywhere, but I could have got it. No, there isn't. So, trailer situation will just be whatever's on hand. I guess the other thing we're going to need to do is pay for a soil sample. We could do it ourselves, but we might as well pay for someone else to do it. So I'm going to check now. So I'm just thinking with the larger of the two fields, actually I might go with the smaller of the two. I think that's the smaller of the two I own now. have a little phone. I'm just thinking, it's not a very big field, but as far as a plot of land goes, I could definitely put a little farmhouse on there, get a little silo on there, little shed for some equipment, bring my bales down here. Fencing situation, access isn't ideal, but yeah, we're almost full. But at least we've got it harvested. One before the rain. I say before the rain. I didn't check the weather forecast again, did I? That was supposed to be coming. Did I say 4 o'clock? Yeah, 4 o'clock. We've got a bit of time. We're looking at October, rain. November, rain. December, January, February, snow. It's showing snow. We'll see what happens. I know some of the years gone by. Normally, well, it's been all different times, but because of the land, it's called the Filed. I think it's called the Filed. It's old floodplain. It's basically like ocean floodplain out to the sea. I'm just trying to think which direction we're in. The sea's that way, I think. That way. I think the coastline runs around. Blackpool's over that way, and the coastline runs around that direction, sort of around the edge. When it rains very heavily, and if the water channels and the little canals fill up, oh man, it's too busy talking, just wasted some crop. It all floods horrendously. So I guess, yeah, rain's not unusual, is it? I love the sound of it. I love everything about it. I guess, right, let's see if we can... I don't think we're going to be able to, but... because we own the land now, can we get rid of field fences? No. Oh, no. No. These ones this side? No. What about fencing at the end? No. Ah, it's worth a look. You never know, do you? Right. Trailer. I'll be back. Get that unloaded, and I need to get that one and that one done. Actually, while we're here, what we probably could do... oh, this is weeds growing as well. Yeah, weeds. Boo. No one likes weeds. Clear off. We want that. That field there. Purchase soil information. I don't know how much it's going to cost me. Number of soil samples 2. 350. Do I want to purchase it? Yes, please. And then... okay. And then this one here. Purchase soil information. Yes, please. Hang on, no, I didn't click on it, did I? 3 soil samples. That's outrageous. Okay, so our environmental score then. Let's take that off. That's on 50. That's on 56. Overall environmental score 54. I'm not that fussed, but we'll see. pH value is bad. Nitrogen says it's okay. Okay, well, could be worse. That's going to be moving forward. I don't own any equipment for doing liming. I don't own any equipment for doing anything. More contracts required. And I can't really plant much at the moment anyway, so we'll have a look. So there we are. We have been paid. That's good for our bales. I then spent 17.5 grand of that getting our little class carrot 12,000 litre trailer. Just didn't realise there's a gate either side of this field. Is there a gate either side of the other one as well? Did I miss the gate on there? Just open the gate on the far side. No, the small one that side has only got one gate. I'm sure there was only... that's why I thought the gates were alternate. Or they're alternated. Yeah, check. We'll whiz up and we'll go around. Just realised as well, I just paid for soil sampling on one of the fields, on the smaller field, which I was thinking of making into my little mini farm. So it probably was wasted money, but it's only, was it 350 it cost me? It's not the end of the world, I suppose. But So we need to start looking at everything, all new machinery, all new equipment, the same as we do on every one we do, but this is going to be a little bit different. I can't, you know, even if we do get to a point we own some of the bigger fields, at some point, if we do, I can't, that's not going to help me on these smaller fields. So it's just going to have to be a mix, a real blend of equipment. I need to try and look for, if I want to get my environmental score up, if I really am paying that much attention to it, I'm going to need to get direct drills, because I'm not going to, you know, cultivating and ploughing, frowned upon. If weeds come up, I need to mechanically remove them, because I think you still take a hit, don't you, if you use herbicides? I'm sure you do. Question is, no, oh no, I'm losing my mind. I am absolutely losing my mind, and everyone knows that already, but I backed up here and thought, that's alright, I'll open the gate and I can drive straight in. What gate? Anyway, you know what I'm going to do now. I'm going to unload, and then I'm going to carry on and harvest both of these. I was hoping we'd get over to Pembertons and help them get some of that manure moved into the midden. So we'll see how much of this we end up with. I don't know what the price at the moment for sorghum is. I guess we could check that, can't we? Let's see what the price for sorghum is. Let's see if we can make a little bit of money selling the sorghum. 677 at the grain mill. Not massive money, but it's money I didn't have, and it will help back towards the cost of the fills and or the trailer. I now can't turn around, so I'm going to have to back. Oh dear. I suppose what I could do, would it reach over? At least for this unload, can I get it to reach over the fence? And then I'll move it around. Let's see if I can do that. How close can I get? It's probably the best I'm going to get it. Right. I think the Massey Ferguson's much higher, some more higher sided, isn't it? That probably could have done the reason to go for that. I remember saying when I first looked at it, the pipe went up higher, so if you're tipping into bigger trailers. But to be fair, for what I'm doing, this is probably alright. Let's crack on then. I've got work to do. It's 2:10. I've got 8,106 litres in here. I've left the harvester in my first field, the smaller of the two, the one that I'm probably going to landscape and change into a mini farm. So what I'm going to do now, I was going to take this and sell it, but I'm thinking if I do decide to do chickens, I can feed the chickens this. Oh, if I do, I'm just going to be just a small pen, just enough for me, just eggs to tide me over. The problem is, because I don't own any of this land, I was just going to dump it on the ground. But what I'll do for the time being, I think I'm just going to leave it in the trailer here, because we need to look at whether or not, if I am going to do that, whether or not I'm going to sell my little farmhouse that I bought with my money, or some of my money that I bought from Silver Run, and move my bales over, so that little plot of land, I would say plot of land, but the house I've got up there, if I sell that, I'll have the proceeds. Just trying to work out what a going rate would be for the house that size. I don't know, let's say 100,000, I don't know. We'll sell that, and I can put that into building and converting whatever I want to do here on my own land. That's probably what I'm going to do, but that's going to be for another time. What I'm going to do now, just going to go and check over here, because I'm pretty sure there's a telehandler over here on the say the secondary farm. The Pembertons I think they lease some of this, they use some of this. The guy that owns it is having it all redone. These are all new barns, and there's a whole load of new stuff going up. I think I've mentioned that before. But the telehandler over here, the JCB, and there's other bits of equipment they often borrow, is from over here. Now there's some beef cattle over here from Pembertons. Yeah, we've got manure over here. I might leave the manure here though. I'm just thinking, should I leave that there? Just leave that to pile up from the beef cows. I can't remember if I checked to see if there was any in the pasture. I don't think there are. Pretty sure the pasture's empty. So what we'll do is we'll head over to Pembertons, as I said I was going to do. What time is it? 2:15. And we'll muck out, move the muck that's there to the midden, which is something I said I would help them do. At least it's all over here. And then, yeah, I need to think moving forward. What do we do? We've got a potato harvest I'm going to be doing. I took that on. That's only on a small field, actually. What field was that on? I can't remember what field I took that on. Field 16, which is... Which one? Where's field 16? 17, 16, okay. So was that one accessed by this road, or was it accessed by that one? 14 and 15 were both by that. I'm thinking it's going to be off this main road where the bridge is just there. So 16's potatoes. That's not a very big field. I say it shouldn't take me too long. You know what it's like for potato work. That's where it's got to go to, the restaurant. The potatoes from there. I'm just trying to work this all out. Yeah, then we can have a little workshop where I get the toolbox. I know, like I said, some of the mods I would use, some I might not. I'll leave the trailer there. Let's whiz over. The toolbox mod, the Schultz modding one, I use that all the time. It's convenient, it's easy. Schultz modding did message me the other day to say, though, multiplayer, for some reason, there's a whole load of mobile stuff. There's mobile wood cell point and stuff that they've done. And Schultz modding and Yoss have been looking at it. For some reason on multiplayer it's not mobile. I mean, I don't tend to move the toolbox that much anyway, but for some reason on multiplayer it won't move. So it will just give me the ability to be able to do my own work and stuff too if I want to. I'll speak to FS Landscaping because we need some landscaping done, so you know, maybe we can get some landscaping done. Oh, now, that's the potato field. There's a gate there. So I'll be able to get the potato harvesting stuff in there. Like, it's not big, it shouldn't take too long. Famous last words, it shouldn't take too long, says MrSealyp, and chucks another 60-minute episode. I've just been, well, Barris just messaged me, I just messaged Barris back. And he was just asking why I'm trying to get my video length down. A lot of my viewers are split between they don't mind a longer 50-60 minute episode. It's like a TV episode, and they'll watch it either in chunks or in their lunch break or something like that. And then other people think it's too long and they'd rather shorter episodes. It's all, you know me, I've always said I try to do shorter episodes. So I often feel I cram too much in, I talk quite a lot. I'm trying to get myself out of the habit of doing that, he says, whilst talking and explaining. And this one's going to be another 45-minute one, isn't it? Of course it is. But just trying to get them a little bit shorter. So I do, you know, if I'm only doing one job or two jobs, like today's job was, well, I wasn't intended by another field, finish off that silage harvest I was doing, harvest my 2 fields, get the field samples done, and then do some mucking out at Pembertons. That often I say you can't drag that out to 60 minutes. Of course you can. But I'm just thinking, if I do episodes where, like the potato harvest, I might just do the potato harvest in one episode. That's not going to take an hour. But there's always that thing of, if I start another job, you can go beyond that. So, you know, I'll try my best. I'll try and do a little bit here and there. What we'll do is drive in. To the farm area. We'll move some into the midden. A lot of the stuff, it's in manure heaps already, and it could probably stay there, but they muck out. They use their the mucking out tractor. They use quite a lot as well. The scraper tractor. But obviously, like I said before, we can't really do that anymore on FS. That all got changed. So what we'll do, put that up here. Stop there. Yeah, that's all changed now, isn't it? Because you don't clean up the feed areas anymore. Well, like I said, it's a bit of a pity that. Where did I leave the bucket? I think I left it over by the midden, didn't I? There's probably going to be some over by the young cows. Not calves really, but... And then we're going to have to look at movement of animals, because we're going to have to look at ages of animals and what needs to go where. Like I said, beef stock will need to be moved. We've got Angus mixed in there with the Holsteins. We've got beef stock mixed in with there. I think we might have a couple of different age groups in there. And then in here, it's the younger ones, I think. I want to say it's the younger ones. Let's open that. We should have some manure in here, not a lot. So we'll muck it here and we'll muck out the new shed. Yeah, this one here is the side shed, isn't it? I'm sure it's the side shed. It's not going to show me, is it? No. I need to sort out access. There's always that worry as well in my head. I think, you know, have I done enough? You know, have I done enough in an episode? I think I have, but you never know. There wasn't much in there. Not producing a huge amount. Ba-do-do-do. Happy days. Can't help smiling, but it's just the day-to-day stuff, isn't it? I like that. There's a load more here. I do need to move that shear grab. That's a front loader one though, I think. I don't think it's a telehandle one. Need to move that out of the way. When the farm sorts out straw bales, and I think the first year for bedding and stuff, they probably have to buy some in. I don't think there's going to be anyone harvesting where we can go and collect it, so they probably have to buy it in, I would imagine. Interesting how people refer to things differently. I know always the Pembertons, they refer to manure as box muck, and I think I think it's just slurry, might just be slurry, but I'm sure I said before, like tillage is what you do on the field. You know, you've got the vertical till machines, so you're tilling the land. They call their fertiliser till because it's fertiliser. I think that's, I'm sure Tom Pemberton said that a while back. It just fascinates me, and obviously the midden, the manure heap, whatever you refer to it as. Midden's a very old kind of medieval term, really. Not really in use much, in common use in English language, I guess. Outside of farming, probably. I suppose that's one of those things, isn't it? Anyway, so new field, sorghum harvested, bales delivered. We did get paid for them, but that's an interesting one, something to be wary of moving forward. So yeah, we'll look at selling the property, potato harvest, and then start work on. I'm going to have to start looking at availability of silos. Yeah, what silos have we got that we could possibly use that would work? That's interesting. Why is it? might be because someone keeps putting it back in. Okay. So anyway, yeah. That's where we're at. All little schemes and plans bubbling away in my head. Things to do, things to do. And then when we go over here, obviously we've got a load of mowing to do, but we're going to be using their gear, so they've got their little side mower. We'll cut grass. Some of it will be tedded. No, they have got a tedder, I think. We'll dig that out. And then, like I said, they'll build the silage contracting work. And they do often get a contractor in when they do baling. I've said that before as well. I'm sure the guy, I want to say, I'm trying to think, I'm sure Tom's referred to him as Mr. Bartlett, and then sometimes he's referred to a guy as Tom. It might be Tom Bartlett, that could be why. Comes in and does baling for them. Contract work, so maybe we'll get, when we do the hay, we'll do that as bales. So maybe we'll get Mr. Bartlett in, or we'll get another contractor, a local contractor in to help do the baling. Anyway, I keep saying anyway. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.